All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another just kind of like general Marvel Champions discussion video. This was intended to kind of be a two-parter with the Hulkling video that I put out a couple days ago, but then they were both going to be top 10s. And then as I was working on it, I just kind of kept getting further and further away from doing top 10s. At least for these two, I couldn't really come up with these are 10 cards for both of them, or not for both of them, but like, individually that it wasn't shaking out to be a top 10 video. And so I just wanted to go through and talk about some cards that I'm excited to put into Tigra. Now that the Civil War box is coming out, I think this week, could be next week. I'm ambivalent about the player versus player part, but I'm pretty excited for the modular encounters. I'm reasonably excited for Tigra and Hulkling. But I haven't been strongly compelled because they both kind of read like very well-rounded heroes, and I think that's probably a good thing because I think that Civil War is going to bring in a lot of new players, and so having two reasonably well-rounded characters that are reasonably easy to understand is going to be good because you're going to have the core set, you're going to have this, and if that's your card pool, have at it. But let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about the cards I'm excited to have with Tigra. And the first one that came to mind almost immediately when I was reading her cards was Directed Force, which is a zero-cost event, skill traded, hero interrupt. When your hero makes an attack that has a keyword, overkill, piercing, or ranged, that attack deals 2 additional damage. And this was very much inspired by her Sharp Claws, which is an upgrade that, and maybe she has 2 of them now that I think about it, but when you make a basic attack, exhaust Sharp Claws, Tigra gets +1 attack for that attack, and you get to either give overkill or piercing. I think along with, what is it, Skilled Strike, I think is what the card's called, that gives you +2 attack. I think that just having something like Directed Force where it's able to say, hey, no matter which of these 2 you pick, let's give it +2. I think is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be really fun to do. And it's already a card that I feel like has uses, but is always one of those cards that is in a deck that nobody really highlights or says the reason why I won was because of Directed Force. But I feel like because you're going to have an upgrade that's going to give you this, very similar to, if you're Domino, you have your pistols that can do that within the context of Directed Force. It's already giving you range, you have ranged attacks. Same thing with Hawkeye. I think the fact that your basic attacks can have overkill or piercing is going to be very helpful. It's going to make her very good situationally. You can bust through tough minions. You can bust through small minions that would just do some overkill damage. And yeah, I'm excited to see if Directed Force can be a card that plays really well with Tigra, because I think it will be. Next up, and I suppose this probably could have also been mentioned during my Hulkling video, it was not, but I think that Earth's Mightiest Heroes is going to really have a comeback. And I even hope that it just sees a reprint in somewhere in this wave. It would be great if it saw a reprint. For the uninitiated, it is a zero-cost event. Hero action, exhaust an Avenger character you control. Ready another Avenger character you control. Because both of the heroes, actually all the heroes we've seen in this wave so far, I'm pretty certain that all the heroes in this wave are going to be Avengers. I think this is going to see a resurgence. But just being able to, I guess this would kind of fall into the category of the additional ready that I was talking about with Hulkling last time. But just being able to have that additional ready to be able to utilize her basic abilities. And I mean, she has reasonably high defense, and then the thwarting and attack kind of need to be boosted up. But if you have the ability to, maybe defend for 3 and then use my Earth Mightiest Heroes to give you an attack or what have you, I think that's probably pretty good. The option of being able to have this is something that we haven't really seen in a new hero in so long that I'm hoping that it will just really stand out. Yeah, I think Earth Mightiest Heroes for Tigra is going to be a card worth keeping an eye on. I think it's just a card to keep an eye on for the entire wave. But yeah, not too much more to say about that. That's just kind of something that came into my mind as I was thinking everything over. I will also say that kind of taking up the same slot, which is that I feel like Anticipation and Battle Fury, I think, are going to really kind of see a brand new life because Tigra is so minion summoning heavy. So Anticipation is a 1-cost upgrade out of Protection. Max 1 per player, has the Preparation trait. And hero action, when you engage a minion, discard this card, ready your hero. That's going to be pretty easy. Maybe you defend, then on your turn you do some kind of minion summoning, and there you go. In fact, there's the Come At Me bub that's going to be able to do that right within Aspect for you. And then Battle Fury is a 1-cost upgrade out of Aggression. It has a condition trait, play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Hero response: after your hero attacks and defeats a minion, hopefully we'll do that a lot, deal 1 damage to your hero and discard Battle Fury, ready your hero. Again, in the same kind of realm as Earth's Mightiest Heroes, both of these cards offer the ability to ready up your hero in aspect, and I think readying is going to be something that you're going to want to do with Tigra, very similar to Valkyrie, where you're going to get so many minions, and you're going to want to have as many shots at taking them out as possible. Obviously, there is an advantage to having a bunch of minions on you. Obviously, if you have some kind of way, you might have to go cross-trade, like in multiplayer, have somebody who is out in a different aspect or in a different, Avengers versus X-Men versus X-Force, different trait that way to do some of these shenanigans. But if you're able to just lower the attack on these minions that are on you, then all the better, because then they can't deal damage to you. But when you're ready to take them out, you're going to want to take them out. Helpfully, Tigra does make it so that the minions that have the hunted upgrade on them don't have guard, so you do have a way to get around guard. But either way, I think that being able to ready up at the end of the day is going to be really important, and I think that all 3 of the cards we've talked about are going to be able to do that for you and help you to really do the best minion slaying you can do. And on the heels of the hunted upgrade, I think it's also important. I know we have Suppressing Fires getting a reprint here, but I think that Surprise Move, which also came out of the Iceman pack, is going to be another card that's going to be helpful here. So it is a 1-cost event, tactic traded. Here, interrupt: when you make a basic attack against an enemy with an upgrade attached, you get +2 attack for that attack. If this attack defeats an enemy, ready your hero. So again, this is playing into the same thing that we saw with all the cards I've talked about previously. This is another minion slaying card that I think is going to be really helpful. It should go a long ways. I think that bumping her base attack up to 4 is going to make it really easy to defeat minions. And again, you're going to get to ready back up. And, after that, you're still making the basic attack of 2. But if you have any way to bump up your attack, you're in aggression, so you should be able to do that. We're going to have a way to do that. We have the conditioning, which is going to bump up your health, and your attack trait is going to be really helpful for this. But I think Surprise Move is going to kind of push you over the edge there. And then next, I wanted to talk about 2 allies that I feel like I've wanted to make work, and I have in some cases made them work, but have really kind of been rehabilitated by what Tigra is looking to do. Because we've got the 6-cost Hercules, an ally with 1 thwart, 3 attack, 4 health. It has the Avenger and Olympus trade, and it has the text of reduce the cost to play Hercules by 1 for each minion engaged with you. My hope is that Tigra is going to be the minion engagement hero, and so Hercules is going to become really inexpensive. He's going to have that 3 attack. You're just going to be able to dole out a bunch of damage, and I'm really hoping that this is going to be a place for him to shine, because honestly, I can't tell you the last time I thought about Hercules. He's out of one of my favorite heroes packs. He's right out of the pre-constructed deck for Hercules. We're probably getting Hercules, but he's out of the pre-constructed deck for Thor. And so as much as I love Thor, I have not thought about this ally in so long. Speaking of Thor, I think his aggression ally, which is a 3-cost ally with 1 thwart, 3 attack, and 3 health, the Avenger and Asgard traits, and then he has toughness and an interrupt of when a Thor attacks a minion engaged with a player, spend energy resource. Resolve this attack against each minion engaged with that player in the order of your choice. I think that Thor is going to be so great in Tigra, especially at that point when you just want to get rid of all the minions that are around you. In some cases, there are heroes that they want to be the person that defeated the minion, but with Tigra, I think that sometimes you're just going to want to clear the board. And so Thor could be that for you. Maybe you've shuffled up the encounter deck, and suddenly Thor just takes out all the minions, puts them into the discard pile. They're not even something to worry about anymore. I think that this is going to be such a fun ally to have. And it is an ally that I don't think about too often, partially because I play Thor a lot, so I can't even put him into my deck, but also just because he's interesting, but kind of in a way that's hard to sometimes fit into a deck. But I think this is going to be the place for him. Next up, we have a card that I didn't think I was going to be able to fit into too many decks. But then when I was looking at Cat's Head Amulet, which is an upgrade out of Tigra's kit, with the resource ability Exhaust Cat's Head Amulet, generate a physical resource for each minion engaged with you to a maximum of 3. I realize that this may be the time to use the Bellerophon. I know I pronounced that incorrectly, but out of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box, 6 cost support with the shield and vehicle traits, and uses 3 missile counters. And in the action of exhaust this card, remove 1 missile counter from it and choose a player. Deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with that player. Discard all tough status cards from those enemies first. I have wanted to make the different helicarriers work for heroes basically since they were printed. I think that in concept they're very interesting. In Maria Hill they become just too much. But I think that this may be a deck where it's going to be very easy to get the amulet to be exhausting to generate 3 resources, and then you're practically there. And then we can get this out, and it can do what I just described Thor capable of doing. Deal 3 damage, just clear the board, make it happen. And yeah, I'm really excited because I think this is also going to be a really good comeback card. You're swarmed with minions. It's by design. You want to have these minions, but now you need to come up with an answer to them because you can't really survive another turn. And you've just got this helicarrier sitting in the corner waiting for its 3 uses. And this is going to be just, I think it's going to be a stellar card. Get it out as soon as possible, then just let it sit there and let it just do its thing on the turns that you need it to. I think that's going to be really important. And the last card that I want to talk about today takes advantage of the fact that, again, I think that Tigra has pretty low health relatively. At 10 health, it's going to be really easy to turn on Full Body Charge, which is a 4-cost event, attack traded with the hero action of deal 8 damage to an enemy. If your hero's remaining hit points is less than half of your hero's starting hit points, this attack gains overkill. I think this is going to be a really good card to just sort of like round out the end of a game, or to just push the villain to the next stage by taking out a minion that's in front of you, pushing the remaining damage onto the villain. Obviously, without the kicker of the overkill, you can just throw 8 damage at the villain. That's also possible. But also, it's nice to be able to get around Retaliate. Anytime that a villain has Retaliate, and you can just overkill through a minion is going to be super helpful. And yeah, I think that Full Body Charge, it may even be just a one-of. You're not going to have the full suite of 3. Maybe you have 2. But I think that a single copy of Full Body Charge, just kind of like hanging out in Tigra's kit, is going to be something that's going to be really fun to have, and I look forward to. That is that's my general list of cards that I'm excited about. What cards are you excited about? Tell me in the comments. Also, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and again, comment. But until next time, well, I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Remember, you are doing great. Keep it up.